Hey there, Soul Tribe. It is the Joy Healer, Kathy Weiss here. I use my gifts as an intuitive, clairvoyant, and source energy channel to help people like you find deep fulfillment and freedom at the level of your soul, which is joy. And I am coming to you live from my reading room here on the Central Coast of California. It's Wednesday, March 25th, 2020, and I am throwing down some bonus channeled messages and universal wisdom for you guys. And it's all about how and why to process your emotions. So, we are experiencing a pandemic right now, and a lot of people's lives are being affected in a myriad of ways. And as humans, we are experiencing a myriad of emotions. There are a few things you need to know and understand about your emotions, and then, so this will be like the why part first, and then I'll swing back around into the how to process them and also to include the why over here. So it's all gonna make sense. We got some like wisdom and some channel messages and all kinds of good stuff. So here's the thing, guys. Every cell of your body, like basics now, like science anatomy, every cell of your body is made up of atoms. Now, what you may not know is that each atom in your body has its own electromagnetic field. That's your energy. That's what's coming off of your body. And then each of those atoms combines to make the whole that is you. And you have an electromagnetic vibration that extends in a radius away from your body. Science right now can measure that up to about 5 feet. And that's the range and about which an average person can feel your energy. So here's the thing, when we are experiencing emotions, the rate at which each cell and each atom inside our body vibrates is changing in relationship to our emotions, because electromagnetic vibrations are traveling from our brain throughout our body into all those cells and out into the world. There's a second piece of the puzzle that's really interesting. When we experience high stress situations, whether we are, having economic impact from loss of job or pay reduction or uncertainty if our job will be there tomorrow or not, or childcare, like there's so many stressors occurring in people's lives right now. When we go through stressful situations, our body produces a chemical, and I kick myself in the booty all the time for not writing down the name of this chemical. I learned it from Dr. Christiane Northrup when she was on an Oprah appearance, and it didn't have a name. It was more like just the chemical number. It was like C, numbers, letters, blah, 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 was the name of this chemical. But we know that our body produces this chemical in response to stress, and that chemical gets stored in our tissues. And the only way to get them out of the tissues is through movement. That's going to be part of the how here in a moment. But what's really important to know is if you let your emotions stagnate, if you don't process them in some way and release them as quickly as you can, that chemical builds inside your body. And so again, that chemical has its own vibration, and it's affecting the cells of your body, which means that the vibration you're putting out into the world is one that is more of stress, fear, discomfort, whatever it is, and that produces a response from other people who can feel your energy. So ideally, what we'd like to do is process our emotions as they arise and release them so that chemical doesn't get trapped in our body. If we were all perfect, that would happen, right? So don't fret if you're like, oh shit, I haven't been dealing with my emotions and now they're trapped in the cells, or that chemical is trapped in the cells of my being. We got ways for that too. I'm going to drop down a channeled message from the Collective Guides of Source. And then if you have questions or comments, just throw them down there for me and we can have a conversation. But the channeled message that came through this morning was more about how to process your emotions. And then the why is, again, so that that chemical doesn't get stored up and stuck in your body creating an electromagnetic vibration that perhaps doesn't draw and manifest to you all the things that you are desiring. So let's dive into the channeled message that I wrote down this morning. It says, pure perfection, this moment, all moments. There is nothing bad happening here on earth. There is nothing good happening here. Things are just happening. It is your emotional response to them that creates their value. As humans, you vary wildly and you are meant to feel. So during this time that some call global crisis, feel and express your emotions. For the moment you do, you release them from entrapment within the body, and you are more easily and quickly able to reattune to your natural state and birthright of joy. This is what we mean. When or whether you are frightened, angry, sad, bored, even optimistic, and have glad tidings, you must express it in some way. Human expression includes talking or conversation, writing, painting, song, dance, all art forms, and movement infused with emotion. These are the avenues to purge your mind, thoughts, and body of all dis-ease, not disease, dis-ease. Use them to center again and again and again and again. So we're going to feel things right now, right? And if you aren't processing your emotions, like I said, and it's getting stuck in your cells, movement is the only way to remove that chemical from your cells. So I encourage and invite you to find time in your day for movement, big, like full body movements. So yoga is great because it goes through a huge range of movement, Tai Chi, dance. I'm sure there are some sports that have less repetitive movement and more wide range of movement, but you want to like really be like squeezing and moving all of the muscles of your body and drinking tons of water to then flush that stress chemical out of your system. That again is going to help your body return to its natural birthright of a well-being sense of like an elevated vibration. So story time. Since we have shifted into the imposed staycation is the word that I'm hearing to use with you guys, since we have shifted into this time where we are working from home and we're connecting more digitally, myself, I've been feeling pretty good until yesterday, which was Tuesday. And all day yesterday, I just had more of a sense of sadness and fear because outcomes are uncertain for all of us. The global economic impact was concerning me, not personally and globally. And my writing retreat that I had planned for myself had to get canceled because I was going to be traveling by plane, and now I can't travel by plane, so I had to cancel my writing retreat, and my chiropractor had to cancel my monthly appointment. I was just like so sad about everything, and the feelings, they just sat with me all day. So finally at dinner time, or when my mister and I were preparing dinner, I spoke of it. I was like, today's the first day I feel really sad and I feel really scared. So we took the time to look at our personal situation and what's going on with us, because that's really, as much as we can really understand and know is what our own personal situation is. And after the conversation, I felt so much better. I felt so much more relieved and safe, because the fact of the matter is, right now in this moment, we have everything we need and more: food, water, clothing, shelter. We have all of that and more. And should there come a point of economic distress, we are eager and optimistic that there will be support for that. So just talking about it moved that sadness and fear out of my system. And within 30 minutes, I felt fine and normal. And as a matter of fact, I kind of walked up to the window and it was like there was this beautiful like post-sunset sky, and I was like so struck by it that I went outside and just stood there. It was like that moment where the sky is like super pale blue and the clouds are like pink cotton candy streaks and the foreground is in silhouette, and it was just striking and breathtaking. And in that moment, I was instantly elevated back to joy and just that abiding sense of like the beauty of the world and being able to see it and feel it and recognize it. But all of that is because I used one of these techniques for processing emotions, which was having a conversation. So as your feelings and emotions arise, and they are going to, right? Like, let's not bullshit ourselves and say that we're fine all the time, because it isn't true. When they come up, process. Let me remind you, because all of these are good ways. Talk or have a conversation, write things down. I am a huge fan of writing the letter you don't send and you end up burning. Like, oh, that one's awesome. Paint, song, whether you sing songs that other people have written or you write your own songs and music. Dance, move your body, like all art forms and movement that is infused with emotion. Those are all ways to process your emotions, move them out of your mind and out of your physical body, so that, again, ultimately the goal here is to get your electromagnetic vibration to its optimal level and your natural birthright of joy. I have, speaking of Dr. Christiane Northrup, who, I have even searched, guys, for that video I saw where she explained the chemical reaction of stress being stored in the tissue and gave the name of the chemical. I have never found it. So if any of you know the chemical I'm talking about, oh my God, would you please like message me or comment me or whatever, so that I know what it is. But we're going to use her oracle deck to just add some extra nourishing information and love. And if you're just popping in, I kind of just wrapped up the how and why to process your emotions. So make sure you go back and catch that after you see what oracle card we get. So, let's see. When you work with me one-on-one for an intuitive energy reading and guidance session where you get personalized channeled messages and all kinds of other good stuff, I let you tell me where in the deck your card is. And often when I do them on the videos, I'm like, oh, there it is. I see it, but like, I don't see it right now. You know what? I'm going to shuffle the deck a little bit more. It's like drum roll a little bit, right? Let's try again. Okay, I'm going to go, oh yeah, up here towards the top third, it kind of started to slide out a little bit. We got two. I think let's use both of them today. So the first one, the title of it is Enlightened Heart and Mind, and it says active versus passive. When we use oracle cards, you can do a couple of different things. You can look at the words or hear the words and see what emotional response you have to them, or look at the image and see what emotion or thoughts arise for you. And this is really a time of perfect harmony and balance between being proactive and expressing your emotions and feeling your emotions and going through that rise and fall, and being passive and simply allowing things to unfold. I do want to check into the guidebook. Hey, if you just popped in, there's the card. I'm going to jump into the guidebook real quick. Be patient with me because this guidebook is not as intuitive as some of the others. And so I have to flip through a few pages to get to her. Here's what she says. The greatest discoveries and leaps in knowledge are made during times of passive reflection, following exhaustive mental work. Oh, amen. This is a time to like feel it, process it, rest. Oh, if you could take a big fat nap or have a really good night's sleep after you process your emotions, man, you're going to feel like a bajillion times better the next day. So let's take that bit of information for this card, that Leaps and discoveries in knowledge are made during times of passive reflexation. There's no such thing as reflexation. Passive reflection following exhaustive mental work. When we are experiencing a lot of emotions and a lot of mental stimulation in the Ayurvedic yogic piece of philosophy, we call that tamasic. And when we're tamasic, we're really tired. So that I think is another key piece of this puzzle to honor. When you're really tired, friggin' take a nap, go to bed. The world will not fall apart and end if you sleep and rest. And as a matter of fact, that gives the cells in your body the time to settle down from all the vibration. And our second card today is nurturance and self-care, flexibility within structure. Holy cow. Yeah. I mean, like, we all need to be kicking down our self-care in these ways, right? So if our theme and our topic today is processing your emotions, part of self-care is doing just that. And having flexibility. Things right now are so unpredictable on a day-to-day basis that we have to be able to just roll a little bit, right? And as we're rolling and we're like, fuck, where did my schedule go? Find the time. For some of you, you're not commuting right now. Use your commuting time to add in the emotional processing piece of your day. For those of you who you feel like life is slammed right now, like, squeeze it in while you're eating lunch or something. One thing I know for sure, and I did do talk about this the other day, you have an inner wisdom and you know what to do. All you have to do is step up into the fullness of yourself and give yourself permission to do that which your inner wisdom is guiding you to do. Whether it's drop down a bonus video like I am today, or whether it's disconnecting from Wi-Fi so that you can take a nap and not feel the pressure of getting alerted or notified, whatever it is, your inner wisdom knows. So I'm not going to tell you what to do. I can only give you the wisdom and the guidance that's coming from source and urge you to follow it because it is pure positive love and pure positive wisdom. Let's take a quick look at the guidebook for nurturance and self-care with the flexibility within structure. And again, a wee bit of patience as I find that, because this guidebook is a little bit structured differently. Here it is. It says, self-care requires planning and discipline, but also flexibility. Sometimes the best self-care happens when you simply let go of your planned routine and try something new or just relax. Know how to nurture yourself in both comfortable and uncomfortable environments. Word. You know what I mean? Amen. Have a set schedule right now, guys, for when you're going to get into emotional processing mode, for when you're going to have some physical movement in your days, for when you're going to disconnect and rest. And then again, be a little bit fluid because life is bouncy right now. Know that I am here for you. If you've got questions or comments or need support in any way, hit me up at thejoyhealer.com. Message me, private message me. On my work with me page down at the bottom, you can schedule a curiosity call if you just want 20 minutes to get together and talk and process some emotions without, intuitive guidance or anything like that, just to have someone to talk to. I am down like that. And also, there are several pop-up online summits coming up in the next week or two that I'll be participating in. So make sure that you're hanging out with me here on Facebook or over on Instagram at The Joy Healer for when those details drop, so that if you need additional support and guidance, you can get that from those pop-up online summits. I love you guys so much. There is a ton of wisdom flowing through. Make sure you're keeping your eyes peeled for more bonus messages. I have a feeling they're coming every day right now. So I love you so much, and I will see you again very soon. Namaste, guys. Bye.